Okay. How many of you guys remember the guy, that guy, Martin Shkreli? Martin Shkreli. He was this Weasley looking guy, and he was like the head of a pharmaceutical company, and he jacked up the price for no like 700%, and he basically because he could, and he was just being very nasty about it. Do y'all remember? And then he ended up going to prison for some type of fraud. Do y'all remember this Shkreli character? Y'all remember him? Or Martin Shkreli? Okay. Now, before he went to prison, I don't know if you guys remember, Martin Shkreli, he had purchased this one of a kind album that Wu-Tang had put out, right? Hold on. So Wu-Tang put out an album called Once Upon a Time and in Shaolin. And the thing was they only made one copy of this, right? And you had to bid for it, and Shkreli won the bid, right? But part of the agreement of winning this album was that you could not make copies. It was supposed to be the only copy, okay? So apparently Martin Shkreli made copies, and they forced him to give back the actual physical copy of the album because he was making copies. Okay. Now, excuse me. So here's what happened. Shkreli publicly admitted to making MP3 copies, play tracks for followers, and taunted people saying, I have the MP3s, right? And the whole point of the Once Upon in Shaolin album, the whole point of it was that it was supposed to be exclusive. It was supposed to be a singular piece of art. So now, PleasrDAO, which is the collective that owns the album, they are suing Shkreli for violating that agreement. Okay. They want damages, they want profits, and they want returns of any copies that Shkreli still has. Okay. And this is why these intellectual property rights are important, because part of the deal for Shkreli purchasing this work of art was that he was not going to make copies of it, play it for other people. It was supposed to be this singular piece of art. He violated the copyrights of the originators of that piece of art. So now Shkreli has to go to court. He's going to have to face the owners of the rights to Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. And I don't know how much money he has, because he did go to prison, but they gonna turn that upside down and shake him down for every penny. Thank you, nurse. They're going to shake him down for every penny and copy they can find. But that is to say, when you are purchasing something, if there are stipulations that tie into the intellectual property, to the copyrights, the owner of a piece of art that they create, they are allowed to say what you can do with it because it's their creation. So Martin Shkreli going to have to come up with some money with his little weasel face. Okay? All right. Let's remove